leaders at Scottsboro Cumberland Presbyterian Church have been working to figure out the next steps for this church, particularly what steps we're going to take for reopening for in-person worship. So to that end, I have a few announcements for you. On Sunday, June the 7th, we will begin with in-person worship, but it will look different than it did before. First, we will be meeting here at the fellowship hall instead of inside the sanctuary. And the reason for that is just logistics. In the fellowship hall, we are able to keep more social distance. So we will set up pods of chairs where family units can be at least 6 feet apart from other people. We will require anybody who's coming to worship in person to wear a mask. And we know that's awkward and it's uncomfortable, and it means our singing will be muffled, but it's a small price to pay for us to gather as one body. It is a small price for us to pay to be able to share the love of Christ with our neighbor. So we will be wearing masks. Now, as we hatched this plan as leaders, there was one major problem. We know that gathering for in-person worship, even with the precautions in place, is going to leave a lot of people out. It will leave out a lot of people over the age of 65, and many who are immunocompromised, and many who still don't feel comfortable coming in for in-person worship. So we've come up with a plan for that too. Our plan is to have anybody who does not feel comfortable coming inside the fellowship hall to come and park around the fellowship hall, here in the parking lot. And you will come in and park your car, and we will have the service transmitted by an FM transmitter to the radios in your car. Pastor Brian and I will stand here in the middle as we direct the service, both for those who are driving in and for those who are seated inside the fellowship hall. We are excited about this opportunity to worship together. And we are excited that this is a creative way where we don't leave anybody out. Because at the end of the day, it is our Christian privilege to sacrifice for the most vulnerable. So we hope you will join us on Sunday, June the 7th, as we gather together for the first time in 2 months as Scottsboro Cumberland Presbyterian Church, as we gather as a family united by the blood of Christ. One more thing to make this work. Whether or not to open or stay closed is dividing our world. It's dividing our country. More tragically, it's dividing churches. And our witness is not division. Our witness is to be united regardless of disagreement. So in order to come and worship together, we will covenant not to judge one another. We will not judge you if you stay home. We will not judge you if you drive in for worship. We will not judge you if you come and worship inside the fellowship hall. Our Christian witness is one that is unified and not one that is divided. The reality is that this will not be the exciting homecoming service that we want. It still will be strange and it won't be normal. But we remember that the Israelites worshiped God for generations in the desert. And we remember that the early Christians were exiled to different countries and they worshiped God. And we remember that Christian faith is built on wilderness moments. Worship is a choice, and we choose to worship God together in whatever form that takes. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday, June the 7th, as we gather together to worship God.